Hello. Hello. Turn the mic a bit. Huh? Bit more power. Yeah. Ooh. Ah. Ooh. Way to know King's Rally this past week. Oh. Oh, that's good. I had a few American Facebook friends that attended some of the rallies.
Hi.
Hello.
More power. Yeah. My ears. I wanted to try something. Not sure if it's gonna work, but maybe. Milo posted something that he was quitting YouTube for 9 hours. It's quite fun. Milo and his post. Will, how you doing? Long time no see. Yesterday was Symptoms of Reality's last 365 days of live streaming. I was thinking, could I do something like that? I doubt it. Doing every day a stream, would be way too much. So I was thinking, I did already some tracks where just one instrument. So I thought, one sample could be an idea, kind of a challenge. If it's working, I don't know. I was going through my samples on Loopcraft. I got so many sample packs already, and some I've used, and trying to get through them and then tagging them and trying to make tracks with a minimal approach. I think it would be a bit like Torchsoft. Yeah, I think. Maybe one new sample a day. I think the idea that they made is pretty. The thing is, it worked out for them because yes, they had American viewers, of course, but I didn't watch them all because sometimes they stream because they have also real life shit going on, so they have their work. Oh, Mr. Bluntly Blatant Network. So they mostly stream when they had some time off, kind of thing. And then I know that the wife Marilyn had she attended almost every stream, and then she got a new job, so she couldn't be there all the time. So that was, but doing a 365, I've seen. I know people that did things on Twitch like 24-hour streams, but even that, I know someone who doesn't live right here at the border in Germany. I know him personally. He's a painter and a tattoo artist, and he made a 24-hour stream for his Twitch anniversary. But even though the stream was running, it did put in some sleep. So because 24 hours stay awake, wow, that is. But 365, that's but they did mostly like spontaneous thing. Even they streamed every day. It was more spontaneous. Nothing's planned and things like that. I could maybe just get home after work and then just launch a stream, but yeah, every day because sometimes you're a bit tired, or you don't want to watch TV, or you got groceries to do, whatever. So, only in the afternoon, my time. Yeah, mostly because they sometimes streamed at my time when I was already in bed, long time. So, ice cream coming out of my ears, something. Yeah, 24 hours. I've seen a lot of Twitches do that, but I doubt I could. And even the 365 streaming. I did a few times before my PC broke. I did a few trying dailies, but I say every day is a lot. I support them. Yeah, it's I think they put themselves a challenge. You don't see even like, I know, for example, a projector once planned being very active, like posting videos and shorts and tutorials almost every day on YouTube to get a bit of a following. But he said there was a time where he had to slow down, and then he got also a real life new job, so he couldn't do it anymore. And even some who do a lot of content, there comes a time that you suddenly, okay, what should I do? I've seen Hero that he streams almost now. Like, he started streaming and he streams every day. For him, it's pretty much late at night. I watch him mostly at work, so it's my time, like 10 a.m., 11 a.m. until 1, 2 p.m. my time. Well, every day it's a lot of, wouldn't say stressy, but I think that there would be a time when suddenly run out of ideas. I don't know. So even for myself, I could make a track every day. I seen a post on Facebook today, like someone was making 200 tracks. Was it a day or? But it was said tracks. But I seriously doubt that he made 200 finished tracks in FL Studio a day. And it seems quite, I think it's possible, but in the end, you turn out that every track is pretty much the same thing. It's not very, you put out clones of clones. Like, I want to go live, but when I get off work, I cook dinner every day, and I have to upload my work vlog. I mean, yeah, it's, it's and even like, I know that Venus Theory once, he said, I can't do that much of uploading, doing video, because he started doing very, like a bit like Ben Jordan does, very researched, very specific videos, and that takes a lot of time. It's like this, launching a door or doing a hardware jam. It is possible, but every day, wow. You got 5 kids? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I want to see you a lot. Yeah, I mean, but it's not just Hero. It's Xenpilt was a few times in chat here. Gordon, he streams quite every day. I'm not sure. I think he's on American time, but not exactly, because sometimes I see him getting tired. So it must be late at night or early evening for him when he streams. Well, he mostly does it every day, so that's challenging to do this. Well, yeah, it works for some. It doesn't work for everybody. I don't know. Still got real life stuff going on. So sample. Might choose this one. Let's load it into here. And let's duplicate. And I wanted to glue. Okay, so I got this. Want to challenge myself to at least one stream a week. I'll work up. Yeah, it all depends what you do. A lot of people that I follow or that do just posting or making videos, they don't post every day. They might do a bit of a shorts. I don't know. Streaming, you could say streaming is less preparation. So every day, stuff like what Hero does, he launches his hardware, and Ableton launching OBS, and boom, stream, go live. Milo, your 9 hours are finished. 9 hours without YouTube. Imagine that. I can't even YouTube at work. Passing time at work. So yeah, it's challenging. And especially you could jam all day and stream it. Don't need a lot of preparation for that. It just, or like, it doesn't do every day, but it does it like 5 days a week. Scruffy Fox, he streams like from Monday to Friday. He doesn't do it on weekends, so he's got 2 days off. But I wouldn't criticize, but his stuff it's not very changing. 9 hours without YouTube. Yeah, at work I need some entertaining, because otherwise, I could go. So how does this actually work? Oops. Sound going through? Yeah. I got 120. Maybe if I first, could stretch it a bit first. Let's stretch it. Like double time. Let's see how that sounds. Kind of weird. Kind of weird, but yeah. Ansgrave! Ansgrave is here.
Hi. Hello.
That must the Poindexter. A couple of days ago, YouTube was glitching. Was going crazy. Yeah, it happens sometimes. Mostly, the last time I had that, it was quite 1 or 2 months ago. Wanted to watch a stream, nothing's working. So if I do this, stretching, because I wanted to try first with infiltrator, something. And also, let's see, let's actually save the preset as default. So that every time I launch it, it's the default. Okay. Do beats smashing. And I had some favorites in here, didn't I? Oh. Oh, there you are. Beat smashing. Glitch. Let's see if I go down 8. I might need to no. Maybe need to envelope, repeat. Maybe like that. Huh? And this. So let's see now the envelope. This is there's 1 and 2. The rest is not active. Got stretch and pitch, but the sequence. If I do like this, and change pitch. How does that sound? Yeah, kind of. Kind of crazy one. You could do your own, but you could actually add another one. Like a reverse. And do let's see if I do a reverse on the last, maybe here. Maybe faster. Yeah, it's kind of working. Kind of working. Kind of working. So we got a beat. So if I go to load the same sample and then chop it. Huh? If I do 16, that's maybe too much. 4 or 8. Could try. There was an action. This. So that's some samples. Haha. It actually should work. Haha. A lot of samples. I need some edits, but I actually never done that. Kind of a bit more boring, so let's babble about so let's displace this a bit. Might need to get rid of the grid. So otherwise... You do get some glitches. Okay, let's do some. I'm kind of starting to feel like alchemy here. Beat smashing here. Beat smashing. Maybe you got too much beats, but I don't know. So how does the... Let's get the grid back on. So the first one here. Might need to get rid of. Okay. So I got a kick, okay? I'm not sure it's working. Maybe I got some different idea. Maybe if I use the same sample here, let's use a infiltrator but a different not sure. Tutorial. Kind of. I'm not sure if it's gonna work. There's a different time on every envelope. I could launch it as a sequence or not. Oops. Ah! Oops. It's kind of weird, but what could be better? Let's does this work? Oops, that was the wrong one. I wanted to actually this one. That doesn't work. So I need to use the other one. Let's do it like that. There's a clipping, but now let's add. Let's go crazy with doc. Nah. Kind of. Oh my goodness. That one looks crazy. What What else you got there? Just echoes. Shaper box. Yeah. You could. Because Shaperbox, you got the Infiltrator and Shaperbox. They're kind of similar, but I think Infiltrator has the sequencer included. This one is like comparable to Polyver's Gatekeeper or the LFO tool from the Serum Makers, because this one also can do side chaining. It's like a gate and compressor side chaining tool. Let's see if I, instead of using the duck, I could. I could. I bought it and I never really use it. The Filterverse. Not a new version. They added a new module. It's what is it called? It's let's check the. It's a pitch shifting module. Kind of interesting. I've seen videos about it and now I have to. For me, actually, the funny they made the same thing like Lunacy does. It's best to just buy, if you got all the modules already, just buy the whole bundle, and there you get the license for the new pitch shifter. That's cheaper for me, as I get already have everything except the pitch shifter. Instead of buying the pitch shifter by its own, it's like that would cost me like $10 more. So if I buy the whole bundle from Shaperbox, it's $19. So, and that's the catch with Lunacy too. When you buy something for Cube, when they add a new preset pack, it's cheaper to buy just the whole bundle again, and they just add the license for the new add-on. It's cheaper. So it's kind of, I felt once for it. Because I think Viral Beats had made a video about, oh, there's a new preset pack for Cube, and I got it, but I just bought the preset pack instead of, because he was talking about you get the bundle for that kind of amount, and I was on the side adding, said, why is my price like $10 more expensive? And I didn't pay attention that it's easier to add the bundle. AVS fucked up all apps and all business data system in the Western world. Oh my goodness. That's not good news. Well, I heard about some sites wearing down because of Amazon web services and some stuff like that. I'm not sure if actually parts of Europe had been affected. At least not on my end, but Cosmic. All your apps. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's kind of shit. The presets in here. Where are the presets? Here, I think. Polyverse Factor. Rhythmic drums. Sabotage. Oh, it totally destroys everything. You could actually use that one. Oh my goodness. That's damn crazy. I have no clue how it works. DL! That was nuts. I'm going nuts here. Eardrum itch. Totally crazy. Thing is to find some that actually would work with the second one. What was the other one? I think it would be ideal, this one. I really have to, one day I have to dig into this totally nuts plugin. Audio destruction, yeah. The other was about Cube yesterday. Today I'm trying to protect. Whoa, what happened to you? I must say how Lunacy handles. I got my share of problems with not just with Lunacy. Kind of did work out. I had my share of problems because when I changed my name officially, I also changed my email address. But I had and still was using at some parts buying stuff with my old email, and also my old email is registered with iLog stuff. So it's very difficult to change my email. At some companies it works. And I recently found out I got a lot of plugins from that French company Bliss. And at first it wasn't really a problem because some I bought at Plugin Boutique. And at some point, Bliss decided finally to add an account page at their own site. And I had bought different plugins, and I found out that I had 1, 2, or 3 that were working on the old email, and the others actually worked on the new email. And I did contact support if they could actually change something, but I never got an answer. So the plugins work, and recently they actually developed their own installer that kind of works. It's a bit quirky with the licenses, so you always have to check, and it's not very... Yeah, when it's best to have just... I should have, back then when I decided to make music and buy plugins, I should have created just one specific email address for the whole thing. So you're looking for good filters that emulate analog gear. Ooh. Have trouble trying to incorporate. Yeah, it's this plugin is made by Polyverse. It is I can't compare it to the stuff that Devious Machines or cable guys do, because Polyverse really targets producers that make psytrance, or maybe techno, very fast techno stuff. It's allowed because psytrance uses a huge load of filters and modulations, and why Dash loves probably Bitwig so much. Oh, it's a lot of modulation going on, and I just have... The only thing that I bought from Polyverse was when they introduced Filterverse, and I grabbed it at the intro sale, but because their plugins ain't very cheap, so I do have others, the free stuff, and I actually bought I think I bought Gatekeeper on a sale at Plugin Boutique, I think. Plugin Boutique had the sale on Lunacy products, but they didn't sell the bundles. So for 10 more, you could get Beam plus for preset packs was 5. Yeah. I did once, but that wasn't actually really Plugin Boutique's fault, because I bought a channel strip from let me just check. Channel strip, my channel strip. I made a folder here. The from Noise Ash. I bought it on sale, like $54, because the normal price was over $100. I always think, well, it's a bit... I'm not a huge fan of channel strips, and this one actually looked interesting because it was kind of modular, a bit like the one from PSP, but... And they had a sale, and then, interesting price, and I bought it, and like 3, 4, 5 weeks later, they made another sale, and then it was 24. And then I said, that is like, when you make a sale, you kind of fix your price at a certain amount, and not like 3 weeks later you actually go down again. So that was kind of, but yeah, that stuff can happen. It's like I know, because like when I bought Bitwig via Splice with the rent to own system, that I actually bought the full price with the rent to own, but there was a downside. There was a change because the price was in dollars, I think, and there was a fluctuation with the rate between the dollar and the euro, and suddenly I was paying more. So it was just 1 or 2 months, and then it did get back down again. But I'm not sure if it was really Splice, because normally when you got a rent to own product, no matter what it is, like for example, I got the Melder stuff. When I bought it, it was 49 euros. And then I had to cancel the subscription, the rent to own, because my PC was down. And I canceled it for a few months. And then I reactivated again. But he changed the price a few months before I was canceling. And when I reactivated it, suddenly was 15. So now I have to pay longer, period. That was kind of, because I was thinking when I reactivated I would pay my 49 again. But yeah, that one. So the music industry is complaining that they can't sell records. Taylor Swift puts 4 different CD codes, posted targets on home of it. Yeah. Taylor Swift is a different kind of, but that's the thing. I think with the music industry, we don't know everything. Crazy Rabbit. The thing is, you got the music industry. You got the top-notch artists. Like back in the 50s, you got the Elvis Presley, the big names, and then you got under there. That's like 1% that raft, not just the artists, but also the producers and label owners know how the business works. And then you get all the 99% underneath. The small musicians, the studio session musicians, the small label owners, the independents, and all the whole shebang. They just raffing the little the rest what goes. And now you got, back in the 70s you had Rolling Stones. In the 60s you had the Beatles. In the 80s, what was big in the 80s? Well, you had a lot of huge artists like Prince and all kind of big artists that made millions, and Madonna and stuff like that. And now you got Taylor Swift, and you got a few others that make a lot of money, and you got like 99% that just grabbing the little pieces that's left. So it's those stadium can really smash us techno. I want from Sicily, don't want any smoke with Taylor Swift fan. Can be mean and vicious. DL, you never met K-pop fans. They're even worse. I've seen someone was actually, I heard I read some post. It was some famous K-pop band. I think it was a boy band. Someone actually tried to posted some comments, and damn it, dude, he got totally destructed by the fans. It's and With the Swifties, I kind of get it's the new generation, the kids, they're total fans. With K-pop, because I do think Taylor Swift, she makes pop music. It's popular. It's kind of cheesy. We know how pop music can be. But with K-pop, I got a big problem because K-pop, for me, it's a pure product. There's now we know there's a huge industry behind it that makes the money. I got a real problem with these kind of, because they all sound the same, they all look the same. It's like putting young Koreans in a cloning facility and put like hundreds of copies out. And then and suddenly they go with AI and virtual, and it's with the idols in Japan. It's a very shady business, and suddenly you hear articles coming up that some artists, like from a famous K-pop band, they doing, we heard about that, suicide, and they're dying, and they have a lot of stress, and human AI K-pop. I'm not. It's too much of an industry that I've seen that those K-pop fans. I don't get them. Even when Japan was doing these idols and they had their own thing going on, but even though it's also kind of an industry where there's a lot of exploitation, especially with girls and stuff like that. With boys, it's a bit less, but I've seen a documentary on the idols they do with the girls. It's really nasty stuff. Really, it's not about the music anymore. It's it's like the downside of what they do with prostitution, but it's a more it's, I would actually say prostitution, but in a different way. So it's like, oh, you sign a contract, we put so much money in you, then you have to do what we tell you to do. And K-pop works kind of similar, even worse. Where do the fans bear any responsibility for being fans and saying no? Yeah, I think they totally ignore it. I think. I actually met K-pop fans that bought tickets to a concert several months in advance in cities several states away and paid for airfare and hotel to see. Yeah, they're even crazier than the normal fan. I think they totally ignore the facts behind all this. And that's not just with K-pop. I see there's when you got big artists, like how they, when you look at how they, like the Colonel sold Elvis, I think in some way he was becoming a product. Yes, he had an amazing voice, he made great music, but in the end, after he became really big, he became a product. The Colonel was doing contracts for movies and all that shit, and he was trying to get out of it, but he couldn't. So in the end, it was kind of, yeah. And they tried the same thing happened with the Beatles. The Beatles had contracts. They made money, but those who actually made a huge load of money was the the producers and the managers and the label owners, the Beatles, they had to fight their way out of shady contracts. Same happens with the Stones. It's, and I seen a documentary that was kind of weird when it was about, because you had rock and roll, got the Elvis and all the black artists and stuff like that. The labels said they seen, oh, that sells, and suddenly they were actually making some sort of clones, like some would say whitewashing, and suddenly you had the charts and the TV and sets full of kind of very neat looking young boys singing very soap washed rock and roll type of no shaking and stirring the girls that could go crazy when they see Elvis shaking stuff like that. They became a product. They was exploiting the stuff, and the music industry, we know how if you're inside and even from the outside, you hear scandals and, oh, why did he do that? Why is this artist suddenly on drugs and drinking? And why did this artist, like that guy who on a vacation from a pretty known boy band, he fell out of a window from his hotel room and stuff like that. He was totally on drugs. Oh, why did that? The products. It's not about the music. Pop music, charts, it's product. They sell something, and the people actually buying that or listening to this in masses, like the big population, they don't give a shit. They might be, oh, what happened to this one? Oh, why is it? But I think they totally ignore that stuff. And like what happened to that young singer who, because of social media, became famous. Can't remember your name. She was on tour, and at some concert, and suddenly boom, she was breaking down, and she's like mid-20s. Yeah, she's a bit more corpulent. She's a bit bigger than the normal girls, but yeah, she was apparently she had already her own shebang with problems with certain medications and stuff, and yeah, she had to cancel the tour because she couldn't take it anymore. It's becoming too much, and the fans said, oh, why did that happen? Why did she break down? You never hear the behind the scenes stuff till after the fact. Yeah, mostly. Because now you hear the stories from artists that survived, like when they suddenly wrote like an autobiography. When I read the autobiography from Phil Collins, I knew about his divorces and marriage problems, but I actually didn't know that it was self-provoked, because he was actually screwing around and cheating on his wives and stuff like that. And what I didn't know, that he was on drugs. He took some drugs for his voice, and at some point in the mid-80s, when he's really, the success was going way up, he was starting drinking, and he was becoming, yeah, very nasty. So, Yeah, it's only, yeah, the result we see now. He's a broken man because he fell downstairs, he broke his back, and all kinds of shit because he was on drug and alcohol. You would say, oh, what, Phil Collins? Nah. So, question is, if you had a music attorney and you had the money to create a label, would you know everything? Uh, that's something. Oh, you know, these days maybe, but uh, I'm not sure if it's actually true because I heard the story like Elvis Presley was giving the colonel like 50% of everything he actually made money. But there's some stories that came up like the colonel did once he was getting famous, he actually made buttons "I hate Elvis" to uh, make double profit for from the lovers and the haters. So yeah, it's, I don't know. Uh, it's nice to make music, and even nicer if you actually make it professionally and making money out of it. But there's when you hear stuff, there's a big downside of all that. And it's not just musicians. Plenty of people say once you get famous, it's you get famous people that are still pretty down to earth, but you never know. You got like some mostly ladies. You got stalkers, and with stalkers, many things can happen. And Eddie Böse, I'm talking here. Time for a break. I need some refill water, and I'll be right back. And then we're gonna do some sound mangling here. Back. Oh, where? Myro said it. Make music first for your well-being. Yeah. You got some young kids that go, oh, I want to be a superstar, and I know like the stories like these casting shows. It's even worse. They got they win the casting show. You got a big success, and once the new season starts, you've been forgotten. And we heard stories about the all these casting shows, what happened to the artists. It's pretty nasty. You wonder sometimes why this stuff actually happened. So it's makes you reconsider. You might have brought out a song like "Mama." Yeah, Phil Collins wrote in his book his solo albums. When you really listen, when you get behind the songs, it's mostly about his own behavior, like his breakups and marriage problems, and his then wife. He knew about it, so those shows are such fun. Yeah, indeed. My ex-boyfriend, he watches these kind of shows, and I'm totally no thanks. Hi, there's so much behind the scenes going on in these shows. No. So what if I let this there and put the other one? Kind of works, but if I could, let's make a copy. Duplicate. I'm gonna render it. So now this. Okay, could actually get rid of filters here. And then it should be rendered here. No, the project director. No. Shit. Yeah, it is. There it is. That should put still here. Stem. Where's that stem? This. Not sure if it's working. Let's see. If I do. Where is it? No. If I do okay, drop sample. Okay. Could actually mute this. Not really. I could just use the original one. Let's go into my blue cloud. The sands. Just load this one. Not really. Nah. Don't. Let's start over. It's not working like I want it. I might keep, instead of the stretched. Let's do this. Let's do this one. Hosts. Let's see. Let's add the Gil. Plugin sound shitty. Gil, this is Factoid. How could you describe Factoid from Animond? It takes, I think it's not granular, it's more spectral. It takes chunks, because the factoid is actually the small brother of Factor Synth. And Alex Reed made a video when it came out. It's interesting to add texture to certain samples kind of thing. It takes chunks. You can, I think the maximum is 8, but you can also change the beats. You can quantize like one beat. The downside is it doesn't have 1/16, so it's 1/8. And it takes chunks out of your sample, your transients, and move them around. And you can, in Factoid, you got like 8 components. You can reduce it, like depends on the sample you have. It's yeah, it's. I think it's kind of. How do they actually describe this thing? Animal. They haven't. There haven't been any loop revamper. Because it's also you can use a standalone that lets you remix and randomize any audio clip. There's machine learning in it, decomposition engine, then the big factor synth decompose any sound into a set of layers that can be manually remixed, muted, or randomly shifted in time to change the tempo structure, new drum patterns on the fly, turn melodies into textures with remix and randomize full mixes, experiment with any kinds of sound kind of thing. I think it's interesting. It depends on actually what kind of thing you want. I'll stop working. You could actually use multiple instances. That would be interesting. Let's load the same thing. The downside is it doesn't play with MIDI, so you can't control it like a sample player. It can mute things in a spectral. Will sound like MP3. Yeah, it's to add texture to a simple sample, like for example, like a drum sample. And when I saw Alex Reed, he made a video. He used also factor synths, and that one actually adds even more spectral layers. It's a bit comparable to what other plugins do when you have like when you work with samples, and I could make it more interesting. It's not comparable to like the Cable Guy stuff or the Devious Machine Infiltrator or Glitch 2. These are multi-effects plugins, or like the Tantra 2 plugin or Filterverse and stuff like that. It's more creating stuff underneath. It's a bit like Slapback works with one-shots or full, and that it adds artifacts kind of thing. So let's see if I add another instance and use the same sample again. And we did actually have 1/8. Okay. And let's see, on host, play. And you can change the volume of the different, like for example, if the green transients are a bit too high, or the blue ones, I can totally go nuts. You also can shift, and it still stays on. It's still on, but you can actually slow it down. Slow it down and faster. So lovely paper texture sounds muffled. Yeah. Yeah, it depends on the sample you're using. The factor synth, it works on drums, but it's best on more synthesizer things. If you got piano synths and pads and stuff to add some texture, you will never pay for it. Yeah, if you have no use for it, you don't need to, actually. So, how much is it actually? 29. And the factor synth is that's a bit more expensive. It's like 69, was it? No, 79 full version. But you also have, which is far more interesting, is Sloom. That is like time stretcher. It works a bit like Paul Stretch, when it has the same layout as the other stuff, but it can slow down your sample into weeks. Use this for audio voice. Sloom is awesome. That's more for me. That's for me. Yeah, of course. You don't need to buy them all. So now if we use the sample like that, kind of works. And then put the sample here. I'm actually not a really let's use the same. I don't know. I'm not sure if it's gonna work, but maybe if you mix, but kind of glitchy thing. And you can actually, let's see, export it. Let's use 2 instances of this one. And then, so this, let's put this one up here. Some was, oh, let's load this one first. Okay. And then okay. And add this one here. Could actually deactivate those 2. Huh. And duplicate. Okay. But it's not the same length. So it's a bit tweaking around. It's not sure if it's gonna work. It's kind of weird. You like Pole Stretch? Actually, have I installed Pole Stretch? I don't think so. It's kind of weird because it's not well lined up. Kinda, but this one isn't really well lined up. Yeah, it's not working like I intended. Kinda, but kinda. Maybe if I mix. I'm not sure if it's gonna work, but kind of weird. It's not really working, is it? What if I reactivate? Okay. It's not really working, is it? Nice to make atmosphere with take a scale melody. Yeah, I also good to make drones with it. But might 2 instances maybe already too much. maybe for let's let's nudge things around. Not sure if let's leave a sample out of it. Could actually do it like this. Let's try a bit. Ha ha ha. Put that one on 100. That might be working. Bit more minimalistic. Too much. Yeah, it's a lot of tweaking around. The thing is, the idea using just one sample, it's a lot of work. And it's not that I'm actually looking, because the funny thing is, Odo did post something on his Discords. Apparently they're making a channel, a challenge, one sample, one song. Alex Reed also made a challenge like that. I heard the results. It's pretty interesting what some do, but it takes a lot of trial and error to actually just use one sample and getting a track out of it. I'm not sure if I'm actually capable of it. I'm trying. I'm trying to do something interesting. Maybe a bit experimenting. So let's see. I'll leave it like that. And instead of, let's see if I have speed in, double speed. Kind of interesting, but that might be more interesting. Kind of slow down. But now, what could be more interesting if I do, I add another track and audio not MIDI. So just ascend. Okay. Let's get rid of the, let's try and record. The downside is you have to, there should be a button to rewind playback. Okay. And if I put it on records, record outputs, stereo. See how it's working. That didn't work. Oh my goodness, what the fuck was that? I made a selection. And that. You could loop. Okay. There's a slight delay. Does react to host, but let's put it back on 32. Why was it so fast? Okay, let's start over. Again, there's a slight delay when a play hits. That's not good. So I got a sample. Okay. Let's mute that. Up. Kind of working, but it's not perfect. It's not perfect. trial and error here. Trial and error. Yeah, actually, I was checking. I don't think I have Pulse Touch installed. No. PP Pulse Touch. No, I actually don't. I didn't really use it a lot, so kind of. I had also the standalone stuff that I bought, like those two that I bought from that Italian developer who makes totally crazy synthesizers. Downside is it doesn't make your plugins. It's all standalone. It's kind of interesting, but has its downsides. And I had one that was kind of like Paul Stretch, but without the sampling. It was using oscillators to create time-stretched drones, but it was very complicated to use. You could make drones like that's kind of sounded like Paul Stretch when he stretches a sample, but this one actually just used oscillators and filters. But the result was kind of interesting if you like to make drones. So, but it didn't. And the other one that I got was like kind of modular synth effect thing, but was very hard to use because of the routing that was happening in the matrix inside the software. And I had like once or twice I had made a terrible feedback loop just by clicking on one thing, and suddenly you got I said, that's not really. And I didn't even install them on my laptop here, so I stopped using it. And he actually made quite an interesting one. I think one of his last project was making a synthesizer with 1,000 oscillators. Oh my goodness! But it's crazy sound design-ish things, and the same way like the GRM tools, but the GRM tools are similar but even more crazy because it's not to make like melodic music. Definitely it's more experimenting with sound, and depends on what kind of things you do, it might not work for you. So it's like I use Paul Stretch to make drones, but I know if you like a certain type of music producer, you might think that might fit into the music. It's too experimental. And I did make tracks. I have a lot of tracks to mix that we made on stream. I also wanted to kind of try not just to finish a track and boom, basta, but also really deep dive how to do things, rendering out, recording, mashing up, stuff like that. Experiment, what works, what not. So that kind of time for me, at least when you are even tired to think, only will work is to sleep. Wait, the other day. Yeah. The thing is, there's a lot of people out there that think that it might happen, but most of the time it doesn't. Making music, making a song, making a track, you can, of course, you can jam like so many do, but even jamming always need some kind of preparation. You could sit like Milo does, picking up the guitar, noodling around, testing, practicing, but making a finished track is it's a lot of work. I'm not an arranger, producer. I'm not a sound designer. I'm just experimenting around and babble around too much. So it's more like, well, just do something and let's see what comes out of it. So what could I actually do with that sample here? It sounds muffled, but if I add, let's see, could actually get rid of the receive here. Let's go to my. You could try granular. What should be interesting? I actually never used this one. Mob. Ha! Would be fun to compose at least a few songs. Very decent. Yeah, and it also depends on what kind of music you're actually doing. If I already talked about it. If you're into techno, house, trance, clubby stuff, the ingredients are pretty much the same. The sounds, the how it's constructed, it's I wouldn't say limiting, but when you get into that, it's your structure. And if you do a rock, pop, hip hop, no matter what kind of music you do, you got the structure, and it's not good to go. Yes, you can do sound design. You can work hours on a certain beat, like many actually producers do. Like what fit in, what sample could fit here, and trial and error, and until you go, oh yeah, now it's grooving. Okay, now what to add more? But when you go into the more experimental sound design-ish stuff, you can spend, just people spending hours on a snare sound to make it sound, or like, but it's the same like when you practice your guitar. You never get the one take. And I recently heard a story about that famous guitar solo from David Gilmour that actually landed on the record from that very famous guitar solo he had on The Wall. Or was it The Wall, or was it Shine on the Crazy Diamonds? Something like very famous guitar solo. And he said that wasn't made in one take. They had like so many takes where he tried different things, and in the end, the producer said, the engineer, let's put all those takes and mix them. And the end result of the mix of these different takes landed on the record. So it's not, like the story goes, one take, he noodled the solo and boop, bang, it's a take on the record. Doesn't happen like that. They sometimes, like 30 years later, they come out, oh, yeah, back in the days, I was just noodling around and, suddenly I got that riff and boom, we hit record and yeah, that's it. I seriously doubt it. It's like when that bassist, very famous bassist, once said he was doing a lot of session work. He had a special button on his bass guitar, and when the producer said, "Oh, could you retake that solo you did on the bass, but add something more, or add another touch?" And he had that button that actually did nothing, and he switched it so the other guy was saying, "Oh, he's adding something," and he played the same thing. Oh, that was good. So I don't know. For example, when Mike does his thing with his friends on his workouts in Reaper, when he records his band or his friends, like he did recently a stream where he was doing a hip hop thing with a friend of his, recording vocals. Like they sat around for over an hour doing all over new take. Oh, let's try again. Let's another take until that one is good. So it's but the listener doesn't get that kind of thing, the behind the scenes, what they do in the studios, what the producers do when they sit in the basement feeling around. Even the very famous producers, they have like I think they have templates, especially in electronic music, and they don't sit around. Once they have something that is, oh, this is working, and they keep that, and they tweak the thing, and they're producing like. And once you really listen to certain, especially in electronic music, you really not just listen to it and enjoy it, but really dig into. We see, we made like 10 tracks, but it's pretty much 10 times the same thing. You just, because I compared, I think it was the first album Richie Hawtin made as Plastic Man. When you really listen to most of the tracks, it's very simple, and he didn't really use a lot of gear. You really hear drum machines, a few effects here and there, and pretty much it. So once you dig into that, that's how it is. My descendants, Myra wants to know my descendants. They come from all over. You can do better than Plastic. I don't know. I once tried to make a track like Plastic Man. It's very minimalistic. You think, that's easy to do, but it's still not as easy than you think it is. It's a lot of how he made the drums and where he did make the effects and stuff. You're more yourself, and you can see that. Yeah, I think like Crazy Rabbit. Just like even Inky said, just jam, and you got people that oh, I want to make a hit. I want to make a hit record. I want to some DJ is gonna play in a big rave. You might get that chance, but these days, since the dawn of digital producing, like home recording, there's so much music out there. The Cornish Waves, Plastic kind of sound. It is, but no matter what, you can take any, even the famous, like now, most of them are classic, like the techno house tracks and trance and all that stuff that came out in the 90s. When you really listen, dig into it, it is repetitive. It's club music. It's to put you in a trance. It's not, and even stuff that is like recently I listened to some new releases from one of my favorite still progressive house labels, Bedrock. It's the same recipe since for 30 years. Changing things here, changing things here and there, and it's the recipe is pretty much the same thing. And you know exactly when you hear thing, that's a techno, that's house, that's this. It doesn't really change much. You got a psytrance track. Yeah, these days they name it all kinds of things and names and styles, but the recipe, the structures, used to listen. Yeah, when you go in minimal, especially minimal techno and stuff, like the stuff I listened to, like that was released on compact records or all these minimal labels from Cologne and like many producers, when you really listen to it, it's very, they call it minimal because of a reason. There's not much in it, but it still works. It still works. You got a beat, you got a few sounds here and there, and when you listen to releases from very famous, he still has his label Poker Flats. He made one track in the 90s. I had the 12-inch. I played that so many times. That track just worked. But it wasn't like there was a beat, there was a sample, there was a few effects in it, and it was some kind of beeping synthesizer sounds, very minimalistic production, but the track just worked. I Fire, yeah, and there's so many things out there. You think, and some tracks touch you, and some you go, nah. And it's like with all kinds of music, either you enjoy it, no matter what it is. Some people actually enjoy industrial noise music. It's possible. But it depends. You got industrial noise music that is kind of danceable, very harsh, lots of beats, which is more oriented into the EBM kind of thing. You got stuff like 9 Inch Nails that can also be very experimental. You got stuff like Ministry and with guitar in it, stuff like that. But you can also listen to Throbbing Crystal or the Einstürzende Neubauten or like the very experimental stuff, like all kinds of things. It's either you enjoy it or you go, oh my god, like Japanese noise. Oh, that's like Merzbow. You know, well, you could listen to like 10 minutes and then. So let's get back into that sample here. Let's try Portal, actually. There are pitch drums. Let's loop it. That's actually pretty interesting. Kind of muffled, but it, kind of works. There's on some of the tech house, deep house, deep tech, progressive. Gordon is here. Gordon, we're experimenting today.
Hi.
Hello.
Yeah, with Portal, I actually, because you can actually get, what I don't like about the Output Company is like their site is working. It's very confusing to get you got the installer where you can, there's not much, it's like for Portal you got like 6 or 8, not even 6, I think it's less, different preset packs, and you got the other one from Output that is, let me check my output. Output is the movement, which is kind of like the stuff from Cable Guys and Infiltrator. That only has like 2 additional presets, but it's to actually get on the site to buy them. It's very even if you click on their installer, you click on the shop, it goes on the site and it doesn't get you into the preset pack by anything. It's kind of annoying. It's not well made, actually. So you got this. Let's add another short break and I'll be right back. And then maybe in half an hour. testing things. I'm back. So, does it work? Does it not work? I'm not sure. Let's try something else. Let's try the movement. How that works. Never used it. I didn't even know that I had it in my license. This one is interesting. Can't make favorites here. No? That's more dub. There's quite a lot. Come on, 300 presets. Like if I have on 120, let's slow it down. Like 80. Interesting. Interesting. Flutter crunch. That might be working. Think I found it. Yeah, I think I found it. If you use that, let's duplicate it a bit. Add that. Might getting there somewhere. Very muffled, but let's let's use the Novum. Like Myro said, use Novum. Let's use grid. Not sure if it's gonna react to it, but reduce the volume a bit. Now if I it's getting spooky. I'm getting spooky here. Pop off. No, take care. Cheers, Cosmic. I won't be actually doing much longer. Now, how does that sound? Still getting through. It's still, the drums still sound a bit too. Let's do. If let's glue this thing and put these notes a bit longer. And that. That kind of works. Spooky. That kind of works. That kind of works. If you add let's add some oh, this one. Does work, does it? What kind of bathroom spooky thing? These sounds remind me of a granular reactor effects that someone used a lot of grain going. You could actually add if you use another sand here and use grains. Like maybe something simple. Oh, there's an update. Uh-huh. Need to check something here. That's the 1.2.8. No. Not sure if I get the trial if it's working. Great Halloween soundscape. Yeah, actually. Totally destroys. Neat, creepy atmosphere. Yeah. And just with the sample and sound mangling. So triggering might not be. Well, actually works too. Very spooky. You love Dark Ambient and this stuff is exactly what I was looking for, not many. Yeah, the thing is, Gil, you got a lot of people doing all kind of YouTubers that do trance, techno, the clubby sounds, or the hip hop things, the beats, when it ended more traditional ambient stuff. But like you said, there's like the very experimental, dark, glitchy IDM kind of stuff. A few. There's I know, but he's like he doesn't do tutorials. He recently did a few videos on the GRM stuff. Richard Devine. He's more a sound designer kind of thing. But it's a music that isn't maybe for everybody. But it's I think it's very interesting to experiment what you get out of sound and using different plugins to change the sound completely. And I can't say I do have enough plugins to do it. You just have to use them and tweak around to get an interesting result out of it. And that's why I know that they're planning on releasing the Windows version next year, probably. They're working on it because sadly the GRM tools are just available for Apple systems at the moment. It isn't cheap. It isn't cheap, indeed. The intro price for the Apple version is like $199, I think. And the price will go up about $250, I think. So let's see how that goes. But these kind of tools are more interesting, at least for me, because yes, you can buy Omnisphere and do Ambient or whatever. It's $500 or an update. I don't have it, but I do like experimenting with all kinds of sound. It's very interesting, and yeah, the GRM tools are exactly that kind of, and it's standalone and plugin, what makes it pretty interesting. And yes, I also still planning on get that Madrona Lab stuff at some point. But yes, it's an investment. But if you say, okay, I like to use samples, but for example, this drum beat I got from a sample pack. The drum sounds, I got like 20 samples in the pack. They all sound pretty much the same. So, yeah, you could do like 20 different tracks with every beat a different, every track a different beat, but it's still pretty much, it's too easy to, it's too easy. So really experimenting with sound design tools that gets more plugins in wild and strange ways. Yeah, exactly what they do. Experimenting, stacing, different combination on track, generatives. Yeah. And it's actually it's fun. Like Gordon Xenpilt here makes a lot of stuff with more special the Edo system and microtonal stuff. That's also not a thing for everybody. Because it sounds totally different, but it's still interesting. So everybody, yes, you could produce like 20 beats in a day, but it's more interesting that way to just experiment around. And when I see people like Uncle Chrome, who does his crazy things, experiments with VCV rack, it's definitely not either for the club or danceable. It's very experimental. It's very IDM, but he has fun doing these kind of stuff. And you got people doing yes, you can make techno with modular systems, but you can also make very, very experimental stuff. And I've seen even on hardware jams, people doing stuff where you say, wow, that is weird. So, yeah, experimenting around and see, getting some interesting results. It's still in the beginning, but it already sounds very spookish. Very spookish. We'll actually duplicate it already. We got some texture base. Like a very long track. So we got a basis already. We just need one thing to play with. I don't know what. And when, of course, only... If Milo with guitar playing, it's more... I know that, for example, I can't remember his name. It's not a famous artist. He does guitar-based ambient. And I found his channel... because he was ranting about copyright strikes and stuff, and when you hear the things he does, you wouldn't say, "Oh, that's guitar." You would say, "Okay, there's synthesizers," or when you don't know, when you don't see, just hear, and you go, interesting. What he does with just the guitar and effects. It's pretty interesting. So, if it was on the Mac, I guarantee you will love Mike and other sound managing Spectral 6. Yeah, that's the, like Gib says, there's like a whole range of, even there's one or two. I know that Ben Jordan once made a video about it, like the tools Afex Twin used, that are very, very experimental, sound design-ish, totally crazy, but it's only exists on Apple system. It's kind of sad, but you also could use that granular effects that cost as almost as much as an instance of Omnisphere. It's like $400, but that's a tool where that's totally crazy. What is it called? Grid? I can't remember the name of it. Because I had my eye on it, I even demo it at some points, but it's very heavy on CPU. That's the downside and the price. But it's you just load a sample or put audio through it, and you get sample brain. Yeah, I heard of that one. Very crazy one. But there's also another one. Yep. It's plugin software that exists for like almost 30 years. And Ben Jordan used it. And I found a site, and the price was pretty heavy too. And it's a lot of used in sound design for movies kind of stuff. It's very, very, very spectral. But the same, there's like Ampusoft, who makes a lot of spectral kind of things. Madrona Labs, all kind of crazy things. So, and GRM tools is, but also like Air Windows and even the simple plugins like I have one which pretty interesting is like a frequency splitter from Clevgrand, where you can split like on 3 different tracks different frequencies of a sound, like the bass, the mids, and the highs. And then you add more effects. So it's totally crazy. Soundtrack for Composer. Yeah, I heard of the Composer desktop, but it's the Composer desktop is not easy to use, and it's not. I heard that on Windows it's not complete. It's still a work in progress kind of thing. It's not for everybody. So let's see how it goes. Let's put an end to my experiment here. See how this goes on. I might working on it, maybe on another stream, if I do another stream during the week. Let's see how it goes, if I got the time. Yeah, thanks for watching, babbling, chatting, checking, me doing crazy things. And see you next time. What is today's Tuesday? What are we gonna do one? I'm not sure yet. So we see each other very, very soonish. Yeah, Cecilia 5. I had that one. That's a very crazy one. Cecilia 5. It hasn't been updated for ages. That's the downside. And Cecilia 5 is pretty much the same thing as the one that I got from that Italian developer. So, but yeah, it doesn't work as a plugin, sadly. So, cheers and see you very soon.
Bye.
Goodbye.